coming up.
I think the challenge where Kenzie and I did, like, you know, we were doing the biting thing and all of a sudden 2 seconds in my pants were off and whatever.
Yeah.
That was like probably the hardest one because as we're doing it, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was like, my parents are going to see this. This is crazy.
Yeah. Bro, is it weird making out with everyone? Or is it just like normalized because it's in that environment?
No, it never gets comfortable. Because you're also, too, it's like I just watched 10 guys lock lips with Kenzie. I'm like, okay, for sure, my turn. Stick my tongue down.
Okay, so what are your future plans with Kenzie? Where are we at now?
Yeah.
Meet Harry Jowsey, reality TV heartthrob. He's been loved, ghosted, cancelled, and kissed. He spilled his guts.
I did what?
In a world of ghosting and dodging red flags, Harry's filling his boyfriend's toolbox one lesson at a time. It's Harry Jowsey, boyfriend's material.
What is going on, my loves? This week, I am joined by winner of couples karaoke contest, Casa, Amor bombshell, model, surfer, and the guy Kenzie ultimately chose to close things off with. It's Dylan Wrona.
What an intro. Thank you.
Wow, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Pleasure to meet you.
Dude, so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I need to know, how did you get on the show? How did it all come about for you? Because you were just telling me a little bit before that, you know, you remember exactly when you got the call, but like, what was that like?
Yeah, no, it was a wild ride. I think initially, you know, I was reached out to on Instagram, just kind of like talking. It was a whole thing for probably like 8 months, I think the process was for me.
What?
Because it basically started like back in November. It was from the very, very beginning.
What the fuck?
And yeah, it was great. Just like being in contact, going through interviews, like having a great time. And then I remember like fast forward to, I was in Chicago at the time when I ended up getting a text, but I was at a Mumford & Sons concert with my mom and my dad. They kind of invited me last minute and they were like, storms going through Chicago, there's tornadoes and all this shit, and the concert gets delayed to like 10:30 p.m. and all of a sudden, like, they finally start and, you know, Mumford & Sons are walking out on stage and I'd like feel a buzz in my pocket and I look like, hey, we're flying you out in 12 hours. I'm like, oh shit.
Wait,
and then I was like, all of a sudden they start singing and I'm just like in this euphoric mindset of like, wow, I'm going to Fiji. This is awesome. And then I just like turned to my parents mid-song. I was like, I guess I'm going. So and then just started freaking out. And it was like the coolest moment ever. But
how did you have clothes and shit?
Oh, I was already packed and prepared. Yeah. Thank God. I was like, I was manifesting it. I'm like, I'm ready to go whenever, but I just had no idea if I was going to get a call or whatever. And yeah, so it was really
the
sick.
show already going on and it was like, so they were already away filming?
Yeah, they were already away filming because I think they had just started, like maybe 7 episodes in or something like that. So I was like following along still. But yeah, once I got it, I was like, wow.
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
See, because usually on the shows, so like, I remember I've done like a fair few shows. Like the first one I did, Taught to Handle, they had people just like in the hotels the whole month, waiting in case someone was like, I like a guy with blue eyes. And then they're like, okay, cool, here's this guy. So I thought it'd be the same thing. I was like, because I'm pretty sure I saw a guy post and he's like, yeah, I was in Fiji the whole time and didn't get on the show.
Oh man, that's rough.
Dude, I would be so upset. Were you happy coming in as a Casa Amor boy? Or did you?
No, I was stoked.
Okay.
I mean, I think like I was ready for any opportunity to come. I kind of like saw myself coming in as potentially a bombshell too, and I was just ready for it in the mindset. I'm like, I'm just gonna go fuck shit up. I'm not afraid to step on any toes. Like, I'm just gonna go after who I'm gonna go after. And but yeah, once I got the call about Casa Amor and then also like 12 guys, I was immediately like, oh shit, like odds are not in my favor, but yeah, ultimately ended up working out so well. Like, it's just crazy.
Bro, I can't even imagine being with 12 guys. I would have had the biggest
sausage fest. It was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Spent like 12 hours on a boat with them.
Oh, really?
I don't know. But it was so funny.
Was it, what was going through your head when you were walking on the boat? Were you guys able to talk to each other?
I don't like, I mean, like, yeah, we spoke a little bit, but like, it, like a lot of, like, once we got there, it was really when we got to like know each other, kind of like in those group settings when we were having those conversations. But yeah, it was wild. Just like, you know, you just meet these guys, you get to know them on the episode, and then all of a sudden, like 3 hours later, they could be gone, kind of thing, or whatever. So it was wild. Yeah,
it's wild.
It was wild.
Are you closest with any of those guys anymore?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely close with a couple of the guys. Like I'm friends with Tino and then a couple other guys, and or like Chandler was one of the ones that I was like in conversations with too, that didn't end up making it to like the Casa Amor part. But then obviously all the Casa Amor dudes I'm super, super close with.
Yeah. Wow,
this was like a nice season too. I feel like all the guys like really got along, especially when we all merged together. All the OG cast was super just warm and welcoming of us, and now we're all great friends, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me where you grew up, because I don't know anything about you.
Yeah, I was born and raised like in a suburb right outside Chicago. I always say Chicago. People flame me. They're like, "Oh, you're from Naperville," like whatever. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I'm not from Chicago, but yeah, I was born and raised technically in Plainfield, but we live in kind of Naperville, Aurora area now. Yeah, went to high school out there. Played baseball, basketball my entire life, and then went to school at Arizona State. Studied there for like 4 years. Studied abroad in Barcelona for a semester.
What?
Turned 21 out there with my mom at the club. So like just had some awesome experiences that like I'll never forget. And then once my like whole kind of life has been just doing things on the fly. I studied like business finance and entrepreneurship there. Went back to Chicago for about 8 months once I graduated, trying to figure out what's life going to give me, what are we looking at. And ultimately, like, I ended up, getting a job, or at least like verbally landing a job with Morgan Stanley. That ended up falling through. And then I was just like, what am I going to do? And then I ended up like signing with Wilhelmina in Los Angeles for a modeling agency. And I just decided, like, fuck it. I'm just going to pack all my shit in my car, drive all the way to LA and just figure it out.
Damn.
And so that's what I did. And then I was there for 15 months, and then, I was doing like well, like, you have your ups and your downs and stuff. But it was a very grind mentality. And then ultimately ended up on Love Island USA.
And here we are.
So
what was the goal? Did you want to be a full-time model, or you were just like, fuck it, like, let's just see what life throws at me?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to, my whole goal was to turn it into like a full-time modeling career. I bartended and did like catering gigs on the side just to like make extra money and whatnot. But I was like, my goal was like, I'm going to be like the next like sex icon, like whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so it's funny that I ended up on a show like Love Island, because like,
there we are.
It portrays me well.
Yeah.
So,
have you got any siblings? No.
Yeah, I have a younger brother. His name's Jeremy. He plays D1 baseball at ISU. He actually just committed, so I'm stoked for him. I'm excited to like go to his games and support him and live vicariously through him. Because also, when I graduated high school my senior year, that was COVID, when COVID hit. So I lost like my senior year of baseball, my whole recruitment process, prom, graduation, like all that stuff out the window. Yeah. So it's like, I didn't get that opportunity to like recruit and go play at that D1 level like I was initially planning, but like now he gets to do it, and
pretty cool.
I love my brother to death. So just like being able to support him and watch him live his life the way he wants to is great.
What did he say about you doing Love Island?
Oh, it's funny because like when I initially brought up the idea, he was like, okay, buddy, like, sure. And then ever since like he found out that I was doing it, he's been like super, super supportive. I found out that he had like 40 friends over the night of my first episode, and they had like a watch party and everything. So it's been a lot of fun, like hearing from him.
That's cool. Yeah. What was it like seeing your whole family again? Like that must have been a weird, surreal feeling.
I haven't been able to see them yet. Yeah. So like right when I got off and came back, my parents had a trip planned they're in Greece right now for whatever. So they're there for 2 weeks. So I have yet to see them since I've been back, but I will. The second they get back, I'm planning on scheduling something to go out to Chicago and see them, or Naperville.
Do you think you're gonna move to LA full time? Like, what's the?
Yeah. I'm looking for apartments right now. So hopefully, just like stay in that like Hollywood area where it's kind of more convenient. But yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
I feel
dude, how'd your friendship with Jeremiah come about? Like.
Okay, that's a wild story. So when I was talking about moving to LA, packing my entire car and just going. So November 24, I went out to LA to like visit, the agency I just signed with, and I'm just trying to figure it out. Like maybe I'll spend 2 weeks here to see if I can get some gigs and maybe some test shoots and stuff. I ended up booking a Skechers shoot as like my first shoot ever.
Sick.
And on set was Jeremiah, and that's where we met. And it was prior to his show, obviously, and then I had just been out there, and he was kind of like one of the first people that I met going out to LA, and we just clicked really, really fast, became really good friends. We were going to the gym, we're hanging out, going out, all that thing, or all those things. And then, and then he just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I was like, damn, my friend just ghosted me. What the fuck? And then I see his Instagram. I'm like, oh shit, he's on the show. So it was pretty funny. But no.
That's cool.
I love him. He's like one of the best people. He definitely was a big part of my life moving out to LA because I think the first 7 months that I moved here, I didn't make $1. So I was just going negative every month. Sinking money into a apartment that I can't afford in Santa Monica, just like waiting for something to happen. And he was always like a friend that was by my side giving me advice, like being like, hey, I've been here before, like continue to power through kind of thing. So he was always somebody that, like not only looked up to, but was just a great friend that like helped me get through tough times.
Did he give you any advice about Love Island?
I tried not to like talk with him really about it at all. Like I called him once just to be like, hey, like how should I go about this? But I didn't want to like tell anybody that I was, friends with him or something. Cause I was just like, I want to go through this process just authentically myself and not like overthink it. So yeah, I just kind of like, I asked him a little bit about like, what should I expect? But other than that, I kind of just went through it myself, which is nice.
That's kind of good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Cause I feel like you probably get in your head.
Yeah,
about it too. Yeah, what was the hardest part about Love Island? Like, was there anything that, like, any moments where you're like, this is a really difficult day?
I think the challenge where Kenzie and I did like, we were doing the biting thing and all of a sudden 2 seconds in my pants were off and whatever.
Yeah.
That was like probably the hardest one because as we're doing it, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like I was like, my parents are going to see this. This is crazy. But ultimately, I feel like I'm a very outgoing person. I'm personable. So I never got nervous like during this entire process, like whether it was, standing up to make, a 5-minute speech that was only 10 seconds on TV about how much I like Kenzie or, doing these challenges and just having fun with it, having conversations. Like I just felt so comfortable being there. And, it just, I don't know. It was just such a fun experience.
Bro, it's so funny too. Like, surely, like halfway through, like in some of those challenges, because they're quite sexual, right?
Quite sexual.
Were you ever just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, I had moments where I was like, yeah, I'm never getting I hope this works out because I'm never getting a job ever again. And like shit, my dad and my mom and my mom's friends and my friends are watching this. Like, I wonder what's gonna happen. But it is crazy. Like, I feel like coming out, like obviously you're always gonna have some people saying some funny, hate comments and this, that, and the other. But ultimately, like, just it's been a lot of love, especially out in public too. Just like running into people, which is also, I still can't even comprehend this idea of like people coming up and knowing my name. I'm always like still introducing myself. Like, well, I'm Dylan. Nice to meet you. And they're like, no, we know. I'm like, oh, okay, that's right,
brother. We were just watching you for like 3 months.
Yeah, I'm like, shit.
What was it like at the airport? Like, once you guys were coming home, was that weird? Because you're kind of out of the bubble, and then people were probably, because I think I saw a video of someone filming everyone either leaving Fiji or landing. Like,
in LA, we were able to kind of like get around it, which was nice. But when I went to New York, that was a crazy experience too, because I didn't have a hat or sunglasses on or anything, and it was just bombarded right off the bat. But I love it though. Like I'm here for it all. Like I don't know. I enjoy talking to people, meeting people, and whatever makes them smile. I'm there for it. So,
bro, I have to ask a serious question.
Sure.
How many clam slams was she actually doing? Because I was like,
so many.
She has to be like every 5 seconds, right?
Yeah, so many.
Like, bro, that was
it was a staple, and it was funny too because when the night of Meg Thee Stallion, when Kenzie and I were doing our thing or whatever, and she mentioned like the clam slam, and I just remember like the both of us, or even her specifically, was like, the fuck is a clam slam? Because that was like an outside the world thing, and nobody knew what that was referred.
Oh my God.
Like what they were referring to.
Yeah.
And then so like coming outside and everyone's just like, do a clam slam, like let's see it. It's just it's pretty funny. Like whoever came up with the terminology, kudos to them, because that's hilarious. But yeah, it was all the time. It was a specialty. I was like me ripping like backflips or whatever. Or like some random calisthenic shit. Like I was just like, we're just at this point just ripping random stuff.
Yeah, I saw, because I think I did a thread about it, and I was like how many is she actually doing? And someone's like, just let a girl stim. Like that's how she's stimming. Wait, when the like families and stuff came in, were you like That's got to be the hardest part, to not want to know like everything that's going on. My first question would be like, how many followers have I got?
Yeah, I mean, like it was funny too, because I also knew like coming as Casa Amor, you kind of come in as this whatever, I forget you're kind of an antagonist to a certain extent. And it's funny, like backtracking for a second, I went into Casa. My number one was always going after Kenzie, and this was also when I thought her and Corbin were like this. So I didn't go into it thinking like I'm gonna just try to play it safe with whoever. Literally went into it like I'm gonna go after the girl that I want. It was the hardest person from what I saw last. And ultimately, it ended up working out super well. But going back to what you were asking, which was, remind me, I went off.
When your family came in.
Oh yeah, when my family came in. I think like my initial question was like, shit, like, what are the people's like mind? Like, what do they think? Because also like we had like 3 challenges in a row where we were like the bottom 3 couples, and so 2 of them were from America, and then one of them was like voting from the Islanders. And so I'm just like starting to think like, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong because I was just being authentically myself at the end of the day. But you also never know like how it's edited or like what people are putting out there, and people's opinions can just circulate the second someone says one negative thing. So it's just like I was itching to be like, what is the public thought? But I also just like kind of strayed away from it and was just like, all right, like, how are you guys doing? Like, let me tell you about my experience here. It's fun. And it was cool to have them be there and like kind of share that experience too. Because, you can only talk about it, but it's something different when you're there.
That villa's got to be fucking massive too.
It's insane.
It looks crazy.
It's insane.
Wait, how long were your families actually there for? Was it like the one day and then they're like, okay, go back home?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I don't know. Well, I don't think it was like, I don't know how long they like stayed or whatever, but it was like they came into the villa for that day and then they were
I'd be so upset.
I know.
I'd want a free holiday.
It's funny though, because it's like they got a trip to Fiji out of it, which was nice. I did wish like I got to see them a little bit longer, but there's so many like families and stuff, and there's a lot going on, so I understand. But it was like a little tease. I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to just like go home and see them.
Did it kind of pull your brain out, because it's like a bit of a bubble, right? Like that whole environment, and like, did it pull you out of it? Like, oh shit, like there's real life outside of this. I made it all real for you.
It did kind of like, because you get locked in a mindset there where you're just you're having fun with your friends, you're getting to know like your girl that you're going after, or girls or whatever, and all of a sudden, like when you have people coming in telling you like what they've seen on TV and like their perspective of everything too, it's like, oh shit, like I forgot, like people are watching this right now, and
the whole world is watching.
Well, you kind of just forget, like obviously like there's 100 200 cameras in there, but it's like you just kind of you just get in that zone of you're just doing your own thing, you're having your conversations, you're getting to know people on a very personable level, and it's just like you get lost. And so that was like a reality check. We're like, oh yeah, that's right, like one, the time is coming, and then 2, it's like I have no idea what they're saying, because of course they're being very like they were speaking in code in a sense of like, oh yeah, I don't know what they're saying.
Oh yeah, because production was probably like
you
like just talk about what's going on right here.
Yeah.
So you knew from the start like you were gonna go for Kenzie?
Yeah.
Was there anyone else that you were like, oh maybe?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
So I wanted to go for Kenzie, like even in the After Sun too, like when we showed the picture of our ideal girl, I literally drew a girl doing the splits. So like I was going for her no matter what. And they're like, you should probably draw someone more like generalized. I was like, no, that's my
the
girl.
one. Wow.
And but yeah, I mean like obviously all the girls are beautiful. Like I thought about going for like potentially Casa too, and then also like in the very first challenge, where all 12 guys were lined up, and then we would choose girls to make out with. I think they only showed me making out with Kenzie, but I pulled Trinity first too, because I was also interested in Trinity.
Oh wow.
And so we made out on the ground, and I like said some like thing about like she like likes it hard or something, so I didn't put pillows under her, like something like kind of cheesy but hilarious. And then it wasn't there, so I was like, whatever. But
But
so.
Is it weird making out with everyone, or is it just like normalized because it's in that environment?
No, it never gets comfortable. Because you're also too, it's like I just watched 10 guys lock lips with Kenzie, and I'm like, okay, for sure, my turn. Let me stick my tongue down.
Okay, sweet, enjoy it. Yeah, bro, because I think the first, this is my first season ever watching it. Right?
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'd never watched it before, and I'm like, I'm locking in.
Yeah,
because everyone's raving about it, and I was so excited. I remember standing in my kitchen like a proud dad, like watching TV, smiling, grinning from ear to ear. My favorite thing actually was watching Kenzie because she couldn't hide how excited she was to be there. Like that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, of course.
But then when everyone started kissing, I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's wild.
They need to relax.
And it's it's funny too because I also like. I imagine going into this that like when you're doing these challenges, they all got to be blitzed, like out of their mind. It's like, no, I'm just dead sober.
That's the craziest thing too.
Let's just lock in and do this.
It's like half a drink. Like, dude, that's a lot. Yeah. Okay, I want to ask about Melanie and Cynthia. Are they still together?
So, I mean, to my knowledge, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not like too well informed on what's going on with them. I just kind of know like what's been
dancing around it.
No, I mean
know.
No, the thing is, I really don't
Okay.
like. I like Sincere. Sincere's a very good person, obviously. Like, and all the guys in the villa have called him out on his bullshit. And if there's one thing I respect about him, it's the fact that like, no matter how much shade he gets, like even like like on Family Day, he got a lot of shit from his dad.
Oh
like
my God.
that would shut me down. Like I don't think I'd be able to like be in the public eye after that because it's like not only are you getting shit on by people, but like your own family too. And it's just like I understand it's like constructive criticism, but he's very strong in that aspect, so I respect him. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'd have to see them in the outside world. I think like a reunion will be like a good concept of like how that's going. But like it was very just up and down and rocky, and I felt like the second he got back to like a good place with her, a challenge would happen, or like movie night where like something like resparks a memory, and it's like yep, you're back in the hole.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah.
Bro, I couldn't even imagine like after, especially because you're only given so much information, and your family comes in and everyone's like, oh, I wonder what the outside's thinking, and your dad's destroying you. I'd be like, okay, guys, I'm out.
Yep.
Like, I couldn't do it.
I would have left right there.
100%, bro. Who was your favorite? Like, did you have a favorite couple in the house?
I did. I mean, like, well, not like, I wouldn't say like favorite,
Yeah.
but I loved Zach and Kata. Like, I knew going in, Zach was going to be like one of my better friends. And same with Bryce, too. I love Bryce. Like, they're both very, just like, my humor matches their vibe, too. I'm not sure if I haven't really watched all my stuff, so I have no idea if like a lot of my humor was in there, but it's very similar to how Zach and Bryce talk to each other.
Oh, nice.
And but yeah, him and like also KC too. I thought KC was hilarious, although him and I like really never got to talk when we were in there, because there's a lot going on. But I would probably say between them or Zach and Kata, and then I also really liked like Carl and Anaya too. I mean, Anaya's great.
Dude,
Carl
they look so lovely.
One of the best humans ever. So
yeah, how
like,
is he perfect? He's the nicest guy ever.
I don't know.
Like everything just went right in life.
He's fucking jacked. He's got airbags on his chest. It's unbelievable. It's like who
speaks
who
another
created
language.
This guy, Mandarin. Which also like I'm like I have a lot of friends, or not a lot. I have a few friends that fully speak Mandarin. So like I've always been trying to like learn a few different like words and phrases here and there. And so the entire time during the villa, it's funny, like I expressed that, hey, like teach me some Mandarin, like I want to learn, and just like kind of, and all of a sudden within like a day, every single guy in the villa was like on it, and we're all just like trying to speak Mandarin to each other. It was like so funny because obviously it's a very difficult language, but everyone was just so intrigued, like trying to learn, like, okay, like how can we say this?
Oh, that's cool.
It was a lot of fun. Like, and yeah, he is really just an awesome dude, and I love him.
Yeah, it honestly really seems like they're genuinely like really good people.
Yeah.
Like obviously everyone makes mistakes, and on TV everything's under a microscope. Like I'm excited for the reunion.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Is there anything you're worried about at the reunion? I guess you guys
not at all.
You had a perfect run.
Yeah, I thought I had a pretty good run too. I mean, I think like I'm sure there was like a lot left out that we'll definitely be able to like kind of capitalize on and be like, oh, like this is how it was seen, but like this is what really happened kind of thing. And I think Kenzie, also without me asking, has done a phenomenal job just like being able to back me up and be like, hey, like, you know, this is somebody's idea of him, but like that's not at all how he really is. Like this is how he was in the villa. And another thing too is I know like Zach, I'm not entirely sure what was going on, but like I think he was getting a lot of hate outside the villa, but which is crazy because he was probably the most liked person inside. Everyone loves him.
It doesn't make any sense. I went to war with someone yesterday.
Yeah.
Like literally in the street, they're like, I don't know, I don't trust him. I'm like, are you serious?
He's just got a humor that like you can really only understand fully if you're in person with him. And like he's just a jokester. It's also like me too. I mean, it's if something could be taken out of context, and that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, he's a very lovable person.
Well, yeah, I also saw like someone like tweeting at like Zach about like the visa shit. I'm like, you're a fucking scumbag.
No, it's crazy.
Like, fuck you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll stick to the questions. How do you feel about people accusing you of being performative, especially after your breakdown about Kenzie and Gal kissing?
Yeah, no, I don't. It doesn't feel great, especially too because you're in this area where you literally can't stick up for yourself. You also don't know that people are saying this. And when I saw it outside of the villa, I was just like, to be honest with you, if I could actually fake crying, or if I could fake cry, I wouldn't be here. I would probably be like actually acting somewhere.
You'd have an Oscar.
Yeah, I would have an Oscar. Exactly. And so, and if anything, if I was faking my emotions, I wouldn't be crying. Like, because I think like with guys that do fake a lot of shit, like most of them are very like the toxic masculinity shit where they act like shit doesn't really bother them when it really does. And so they just like, I feel like that's where that would have come into play. And I would understand people saying that if that were the case. But like, when I did find that out, like it crushed me because not only did we have like such an amazing conversation 20 minutes prior to that happening, but we also like just connected so deep like within a week. And obviously everyone knows like that's been there a week there. It's 24 hours a day is like, that's more time that I spent with her than I've spent with like a girlfriend that I've been with for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So you really get to know them personally and like, yeah, it crushed me. And so I just was, I was crying, but like, wasn't forced. Like it's just I get choked up so easily.
We all cry.
Yeah, of course.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask, I have to ask about another question, but what was it actually like going through a movie night? Like, how did you really feel? Like that must have been hard, no?
It was hard, but like in kind of a selfish way, it was pretty funny because I kind of knew that like I wasn't gonna get anything. I was newer, but also like I don't think I had like any beef or nothing going on. Like that's kind of where the whole popcorn thing stemmed from, of me just like munching. And like I don't think they showed it, but Kenzie was like, "Stop fucking eating," and I was like, "Oh, my bad." But yeah, it was crazy. That was like I don't know what I think what they showed on TV was one thing, but it was even wilder in person. Just like it was so tense, people just like yelling and screaming back and forth, and it really was. It felt like guys versus girls at that point because it was. Obviously we're each going to stand up for each other, but also take some sort of accountability. And it did feel like, the guys were taking some sort of accountability for stuff. And then, like Zach and Bryce and even myself were chiming in on the fact that like, it feels like, when we apologize, it's not good enough, or it's like, oh, well, but you guys did that. But you know what I mean? When they would apologize, then it's fine. So it was definitely heated.
It's tough. How did you have a different perspective on Kenzie? Like, after that, or were you just like, okay, cool, everything's on the table now? Like, at least.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll also touch on this too because I know people were saying that like, oh, like this is bullshit. Like Dylan's just bringing stuff back up because he's already seen these things in the outside world. It's like, yes, that is true. I have seen these things, but it's also a different perspective when you create a relationship with somebody over a week, you develop feelings, and then you kind of see it again. It's the same thing with like Melanie, where it's like, she saw it again and it like brought back some different feelings. And when you see it live, you're like, oh fuck, like that's what the world is seeing. So yeah, it just like, it felt different because I had an attachment to her. And I obviously still do, but it's just like it just felt like crazy. And so I was a little bummed that like people were giving me shit for that, but it's like it's different when you really have feelings for somebody and then you see it again. Obviously I knew that happened, but when you see things and they're fresh and you see how they were like and everyone else is reacting to it, like it brings out a different emotion.
Bro, it'd be hard to not get in your own head.
Yeah, of course.
Well, what are your future plans with Kenzie? Where are we at now?
Yeah, I don't. When is this coming out, by the way?
Next week.
Next week? Okay, sounds
Tuesday.
good. So I think it should be out by then, hopefully. But I did make her my girlfriend yesterday.
No way! Oh, congrats!
So yeah, it was really cool. We're on like the top of the Empire State Building in New York, and like we had this like whole thing. It was a surprise, yesterday, and I had it like a whole surprise like planned out for her. Like I took her shopping for a bunch of stuff, and then I did like a little tour of it, and then we got to go like right under the needle at the very top, like where it's all exposed. And it was really a cute moment. So
Bro,
yeah,
that's
just like
so
exploring.
nice. That's so
it was really
sweet.
cool. And so just like I feel like just continuing a relationship with her and figuring it out. That's in the future. So.
Do you think she'll want to move to LA as well?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
She does. So I think she'll be in New York for a little bit longer. She's going to be back in Georgia for a bit with her mom and her dad, and then she's going to look for a place.
Oh, it must be hard to be like glued together and then be separated. Like
Yeah.
I would be spiraling.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's also nice because now you have to like
distance or time
figure it
apart
out.
makes the heart grow fonder.
There
right?
it is.
So.
Okay, we got a final 4 questions before we get you out of here.
Sure.
If you were casting the villain version of Love Island, which your former castmates is the first person you'd call?
As a villain?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, if we're just going based off this season, yeah, it's going to be Sincere, of course.
Yeah.
It's going to be him.
Yeah. What is the most fake thing about reality TV that viewers actually think is 100% real?
Just like context behind conversations, because
Yeah.
like an example of that is the first episode I was in talking with Trinity and Anaya. The only clip of the conversation of our turn-ons was me saying, "Oh, I love big asses or nice asses," which I did say, of course. I threw that in after like talking for like 2 minutes about how I love very like well-rounded women with family-oriented mindsets. Like I said a lot of cute shit, but they gave that to Carl. They're like, let's let Carl look good. we'll just tell him she's got a nice ass.
That's
I'm like, all
perfect.
right, for sure.
What is the most unhinged thing you've seen a castmate do to get more screen time?
I think Kenzie literally biting my wiener in the challenge, which I don't know if it was showed or not, but when we were doing the nibble, I think I had marks everywhere all over my body. That was the most unhinged shit I've ever done.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. And final question, are there any other reality TV shows you want to be on?
I mean, maybe like Traders or something in the future would be really cool, but I'm obviously open to all the opportunities and whatnot. But yeah, no dating shows. But other than that, just moving forward.
He's locked up now.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Man, I don't know. I would just say I appreciate all the support. Like, you guys follow me on the socials. I guess we just hit 300,000 on Instagram, which is crazy.
Oh, nice, bro.
So that's cool. And
sick.
Yeah, just like following the journey. Like, I'm gonna post a lot of personal content.
What is your Instagram?
It's Dylan_Wrona. Okay. For the people that don't know. That's, I think, all socials. And so I'm just like, I'm looking forward to the future and what it holds, and hopefully some big stuff coming soon. So
Hell yeah. Guys, if you did enjoy today's episode, please give us 5 stars, and we'll see you again next week. Dude,
Peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're the man.